Lads, excellent, and I mean excellent news for the Indiana Fever.
Caitlin Clark was back at practice today. I saw the video. She was in practice in workout attire. Now, I don't know how much she participated, but she was there at practice as the Indiana Fever gear up to...
So everyone thought Caitlin Clark was going to move far away to Europe after she got hurt in her groin area. Doctors, meetings, people guessing stuff everywhere. Then, wow, she shows up at Indiana Fever practice like nothing bad happened. The basketball world is going totally crazy, and the teams that play against her are probably really scared right now. This changes everything.
Is in gear. She is in gear at practice. Lads, that is super duper important.
What do you think? Is Caitlin really ready to play again? Or is this just fake news from the Fever team? Look, I'm going to tell you the truth right here. The whole Caitlin Clark getting hurt story has been one crazy adventure that nobody expected to happen. One minute she's playing amazing basketball in her second year as a pro, and the next minute we're hearing quiet talk about groin injuries and secret doctor meetings all over the country. The people spreading rumors went totally nuts, with people saying she might go to Europe if things didn't work out. Can you think about how crazy that would be? But here's where it gets really interesting. While everyone was busy thinking she was finished and planning her goodbye party, Caitlin Clark decided to show up at practice like she's the boss of the place. And honestly, she kinda is. The videos that came out from Scott Agnes Fieldhouse Files was like getting hit in the face to everyone who thought she was done for the season. There she was, wearing all her gear, jumping around, looking like she never stopped playing. Now, I know what you're thinking. Practice is one thing, but real games are totally different. And you're right about that. But let's talk about what this really means for everyone who's part of this, especially those teams who were probably doing a happy dance when they heard about her getting hurt. The Indiana Fever has been keeping this whole thing super secret, which is pretty smart, but also really frustrating. No official news, no timeline, nothing at all. Just this weird guessing game of maybe she's fine, maybe she's not. At the same time, every other team in the league has been quietly changing their game plans, thinking they might catch a break from the Caitlin Clark show. Think about it like this. You spend months getting ready for how to stop someone who can make three-point shots from pretty much anywhere on the basketball court. And then, all of a sudden, there's a chance she might not even be playing. Teams probably started feeling better, thinking they could worry about other players instead, maybe even make their defense plans a little easier.
But Caitlin Clark, not in street clothes at practice. This is some video from practice from Scott Agnes, and Michaela Timpton hits the half-court shot. Caitlin happy about it. But I noticed what she's dressed in. Now, that could just be what she's rehabbing in. I don't know if she took part, what she did. Got enough groin flexibility to step over somebody.
But then this practice video comes out, and everyone realizes what's happening. She's back, or at least she's coming back. And that means every team has to worry again. The mind game here is just as big as the body game. Other teams who thought they got lucky are now back where they started, having to get ready for someone who's like a super cool basketball movie. Let's talk about what Caitlin does on the basketball court. This isn't just about making baskets, though. She's really good at that. It's about how teams have to change everything when she's playing. You can't leave her alone anywhere. You can't take it easy on defense, and you definitely can't think you know what she's going to do next. That's really tiring for the other teams, and they know it. How her coming back messes with people's heads is really important, too. There's something about playing against someone who's been all over the news and breaking records that gets in your brain. Even if her body isn't completely perfect, the worry for the other players is still going to be huge. They know that one mess up, one time of not watching carefully, and she's going to make them sorry for it. What's really crazy is how the timing of all this happened. The injury came at just the wrong time, or maybe the right time, depending on how you think about it. The fever was getting better and better. Fans were getting pumped up, and then all of a sudden, everything had to stop. But sometimes, a little rest can be exactly what a player needs, even if it doesn't feel like it when it happens.
That is a big, big sign when it comes to Caitlynclark, that she is at least participating in part of practice. Do I think Caitlynclark should take it as handy as possible? Of course. Take it as handy as possible. Go as slow as possible. Go at whatever speed you feel comfortable at, Caitlyn. Take as much time as you need. Take more time than you need. If you think you need 2 or 3 weeks off, take a month.
While Caitlyn was away from playing basketball, she wasn't just sitting around feeling sad. Those doctor visits everyone was talking about shows she's being serious and doing everything she can to come back even better. It's not like she was just hoping the problem would disappear by itself. She was working hard to fix things, which is exactly what you want to see from a sports player who gets paid to play. The rumors about her maybe playing basketball in Europe were probably the most exciting part of this whole thing. The idea that she might think about playing in other countries if things didn't work out in the WNBA had people going crazy. Women's basketball in Europe has been getting better lately, and they pay pretty good money too. But let's be honest, Caitlynclark playing in the WNBA is where she should be and where the league really needs her. The WNBA has been having its own problems with paying players enough money and getting bigger. Having someone like Caitlyn maybe leave to play in Europe would have been really bad for how people think about the league and its chances to grow. She's become one of the most famous faces of women's basketball in America, and losing her would have sent all the wrong messages about whether the league can keep its best players. Now that she's back at practice, everything changes again. The Fever team can start making plans with her included, fans can get excited again, and other teams have to go back to getting ready to play against Caitlynclark. It's like flipping a switch that changes everything about how the whole league works. The practice videos tell us a lot about how her body is doing. You can see her moving around, jumping, and looking comfortable when she moves. That's not someone who's still having serious injury problems. That's someone who's ready to get back to playing, or at least very close to it. But here's what's really going to be cool to watch. How does she play when she actually gets back on the court for real games? Being able to move around in practice is one thing, but dealing with how intense and rough actual WNBA games are is totally different. The real test is going to be whether she can play at her usual amazing level without any problems or being scared. When she comes back might actually help her though. Coming back after a break sometimes gives players a fresh way of looking at things and new energy. Instead of being tired from playing a long season, she might actually be more focused and excited than ever. For the Indiana Fever team, having Caitlyn back changes who they are completely. Without her, they're just another team trying to win. With her, they become something everyone wants to watch and a real danger to anyone they play against. The difference is that big, and everyone in the league knows it. Other players on the Fever have probably been dealing with more pressure while she was gone too. When your best player isn't playing, everyone else has to do better, and that's not always easy to do. Having her back takes some of that pressure away and lets everyone else play the way they naturally do. The fan reaction to her coming back is going to be absolutely crazy. Caitlynclark has brought so many new fans to women's basketball, and they've been waiting nervously for any news about when she'd be back. Social media is probably going to go wild when she actually gets on the court for her first game back. TV ratings and how many people come to games have been different without her playing. The WNBA has been getting more popular, but a lot of that growth has been directly because of Caitlyn being there and playing so well. Having her back means those numbers should go up again, which is good for everyone in the league. The business side of her coming back is huge too. Selling jerseys and stuff with her name, sponsorship deals, news coverage, all of that goes up a lot when she's actually playing. The league has been building around stars like her, and having that star power back on the court is really important for keeping growing. Looking at how rival teams are probably reacting to this news, you can almost feel them all sighing with frustration. Teams that thought they might have an easier season are now back to reality. How fair the competition is in the league changes when a player as good as her comes back to play. Coaching teams around the league are probably already changing their game plans and strategies. You can't get ready for Caitlynclark the same way you get ready for other players. She needs special attention and specific ways to defend against her, which means teams have to spend extra time and energy just to try to stop her. Getting mentally ready to face her is different too. Players know they're going up against someone who's been getting attention on TV and breaking records. That can be scary even for professional athletes who are used to competing at the highest level. What makes this whole situation even more interesting is that this is her second year in the league. She's not a new player anymore trying to figure things out. She's a player who's been around and knows what to expect and how to handle the pressure. That experience is going to make her return even more powerful. The improvement she's probably made during this time away shouldn't be forgotten either. Sometimes stepping back and getting a different view can help players see things they missed before. She's had time to study her playing style, work on specific things, and come back with improvements. The physical fitness part is important too. If she's been able to stay in shape while dealing with the injury, she might actually be in better shape than some players who've been playing games without a break. Recovery time can be really valuable if it's used the right way. For rival teams who were hoping to avoid dealing with her for a while longer, this return is basically their worst nightmare coming true. They're going to have to go back to spending extra time watching game videos, working on special defensive practice drills, and mentally preparing for the challenge of trying to stop someone who's proven to be almost impossible to stop. The competitive spirit that she brings to every game is something that affects whole teams, not just one-on-one matchups. When players know they're facing someone who's going to bring maximum effort, it forces everyone to make their game better. That can be really tiring over the course of a season. The news attention that comes with her return is going to be massive too. Games with Caitlin Clark get more coverage, more analysis, and more close watching for opposing players and teams. That means playing under a bigger spotlight, which isn't always comfortable. The league itself has to be really happy about this development. Having their biggest star back on the court means more interest, more money, and more chances to grow. The WNBA has been working hard to build its reputation, and Caitlin Clark is a huge part of that effort. What's really going to be fascinating is seeing how she plays in her first few games back. Will there be any rustiness? Will she come out even stronger than before? Will rival teams have figured out new ways to defend against her while she was away? These are the questions that make her return so exciting to watch. The strategy implications for the Fever are huge too. Having her back means they can run their favorite offensive systems again, and other players can get back to their natural positions and jobs. The team chemistry that was building before her injury can pick up where it left off. For fans who've been following this whole situation, seeing her back at practice is probably both exciting and nerve-wracking. Everyone wants to see her do well, but there's always that worry about getting hurt again or not being quite the same after time away. The business impact goes beyond just the Fever too. When Caitlin Clark plays, more people watch WNBA games in general. Her being there lifts the entire league, which helps every team and every player. That's the kind of star power that changes sports leagues. Looking ahead, her return sets up some incredible storylines for the rest of the season. How will she play? How will teams adjust? What kind of impact will she have on playoff races? These are the stories that keep fans interested and excited about what's coming next. The fact that rival teams are in shock about her return tells you everything you need to know about her impact on the league. When one player's health status can change the entire competitive landscape, that's when you know you're dealing with a true superstar. So, there you have it. Caitlin Clark is back, and the basketball world is officially on notice. Rival teams better start preparing because this season just got a whole lot more interesting. What do you think about her return? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button and subscribe for more basketball content. Until next time, peace.